Amari, not many wide receivers get this honor of being finalists for the Heisman. Just what's it feel like to be in the company of guys like Desmond Howard and things like that?
Yeah, I feel really honored to be here, where not many receivers get the opportunity to be here. And that's pretty much it.
You get a chance to watch your other finalists play through the year, whether in the morning, watching live or highlights, replays, anything like that?
Yeah, I've never got the chance to watch them play in an actual game, but they're all over the highlights.
Yeah.
I'm always seeing them on the highlights.
What's one thing that you noticed about the two of them just seeing on highlights beyond that they're really good, or anything that you noticed that has stood out about those two guys?
I can't.
Outside the fact that they're really good, anything about them that has stood out watching them on highlights or on replay?
Well, I can't really see anything besides the fact that they're really good when watching them on television.
Is it difficult to sort of soak in the individual achievement when your team is right there pursuing the ultimate goal of a championship?
Oh yeah, you have to focus on the team because we still have a lot of plays to be played. We still have to win if we want to get to our ultimate goal. So you can't get too caught up in individual achievements.
Amari, has Gordon given you any idea of what to expect against Ohio State's defense? Did you have any chance to talk about that?
Yeah, he just told me that they're really good, and it's going to be a good game.
Amari, your mom told Miami Herald that you didn't want to play football as first, you just wanted to keep running track. What kind of convinced little Amari that football was going to be all right?
Oh yeah, at first I didn't want to play football because they were out there hitting, and that just wasn't me at the time. I was a track guy. I was always pretty fast, so I just was like, I want to stick with track. But the coach was really persistent. He would come to my house.
Coconut Grove Pop Warner.
Yeah, he would come to my house and ask my mom. She told me to go check it out again, and I went and fell in love with it.
What did it feel like the first time you got hit?
Oh, I didn't like hitting until like my third or fourth year playing football.
You like going? I mean, do you like going up over the middle? I mean, for somebody who didn't like getting hit, how does it feel going over the middle?
I mean, going across the middle, if you know you're gonna get hit, I mean, it's not something you desire. But at the same time, if it's 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4, you have to make that play for your team. So you go across the middle and make that play, and that's where you get some happiness from.
What was the hardest adjustment from going from track to football, the other adjustment?
It wasn't really a hard adjustment. My first day out there, I started loving it.
What does it feel like to be part of the first college football playoff?
It feels great, knowing that we're a part of the first college football playoffs. It's something no one can take from us. But at the same time, it's the same thing. We just have to win if we seek to win the national championship.
And what do you think of the format? A lot of people are already talking about should there be more teams, should there be 8 teams? Any thoughts?
I don't know how many teams should be in the college football playoffs, but I still don't think it's fair. So,
should players have a say if they're expanded and add even more games?
I'm not so sure about that.
Amari, who would you credit with being the person who helped you develop most at Alabama?
Coach Saban.
What has he done to help you elevate your game this year?
I mean, he's helped me fight through injuries. He's helped me become a better person, a better man. Just giving me so much advice on things I needed help on.
Kind of talked about it earlier that not many wide receivers come here to New York for the Heisman. What makes a Heisman candidate at your position?
I think it's a lot of different things. There can be guys who have more yards than another guy or more receptions and touchdowns, but your team has to be good. So it's things like that.
Have you had a chance to form an impression of Marcus Mariota and see very much of him on TV?
Oh, nah. Like I said, I see him a lot on the highlights, but I've never actually got a chance to watch them play. Yeah.
What are your impressions of the 2 other finalists, off the field?
Well, I've gotten to know Melvin well. He's a funny dude. He's fun to be around, and he's really cool. And he's a hard worker from what I can, when we talk about what we want to accomplish, you can tell that he really wants to do a lot.
And have you been, as Marcus, I know he's not here today, but have you been doing the awards circuit? Have you?
Yeah, I only got a chance to talk to him once, but I can tell that he's a really good person.
Pull up to New York, what was your first impression of the city? Your first impression of the city when you pulled up here today?
they have really tall buildings. That was my first impression.
Amari, you had a big receiving year this year. On the other end of that is obviously Blake. What's the relationship with you and your quarterback, and how quickly did that build, obviously, being a first-year quarterback?
Oh, yeah, it was a slow process. We had to take it day by day. Starting from the spring, when he was unsure about the fact that he was going to start, we would watch a lot of film. We would practice our timing, running routes. We would just do all the small things that we know would pay off when it came to game time.
How much of a help was Lane Kiffin coming in and helping you guys out?
Oh, he's helped Blake a lot. He's made the offense player-friendly, not too hard. I think that was the biggest thing.
Is there a moment with him that stands out? Anything that kind of a story that kind of exemplifies who Lane Kiffin is and what he's done?
Probably not one particular moment. Like I said, he's a cool guy. He's a genius as an offensive coordinator, and that's who he is.
Amari, you had a couple of your biggest games: 200 yards against Florida, 200 yards against Auburn, 12 catches in the SEC championship game. What is it about you that allows you to have your best performances in the biggest games?
I think when we don't play teams that's as good, I don't get a chance to play the whole game. I think when we get a chance to play good teams, I get a chance to play the whole game, so I get a chance to get more opportunities because, we have much more third downs and stuff like that, and, Coach and Blake wants to get me the ball, so I think I have more opportunities when we play the better teams.
When people doubted the decision,
how important do you think the character issue is, and do you think that that's why last year's winner didn't even make the top 3 this year?
I think character is really important in everything. I don't know if that's why Jameis made the top 3 or not, but I think character is important in anything.
You said people were just doubting the decision. Where were they telling you to go instead of to Alabama?
People just wanted me to go to a school that threw a lot more than they ran the ball.
Was there pressure to stay home in Miami?
It was a little bit, but at the end of the day, I was the only one who can influence my decision because that's how it's always been.
Saban said that the junior camp, you came up here after your junior year, it blew him away. But do you remember that experience? What was it like?
Oh yeah, I remember. It was really, really hot. It was really hot, but I just came out here. I wanted to, prove that I deserved an offer from Alabama. So I came out here. I worked really hard, and we did one-on-ones, and I tried to show the coaches what I can do.
Did you kind of target Alabama as a place that you wanted to go?
Nah, I really didn't know much about Alabama, honestly. In high school, I didn't watch much college football. One of my coaches, he told me he was going to the Alabama camp like 2 or 3 days before they left, and I was like, of course I want to come. So I came, and that's when I learned more about Alabama.
How much did Teddy help you with the recruiting process?
He didn't really help me much. Like I said, the decision was all mine.
Oh, I don't mean deciding where. I just mean dealing with.
Oh no, he didn't help me much. I think he had his own issues up in Louisville.
I was gonna say because he had kind of a winding road. Yours was sort of this is where I'm going and I'm good.
Oh yeah.
So, I didn't know if he'd said pick a spot and be happy or anything.
Who were the other schools that were the final guys that you came down to with Alabama?
Really, I knew I was coming here, but I was considering some other schools, Florida State, Miami.
So you fell in love on that trip here to Tuscaloosa on your junior year. That camp, that was kind of where you decided?
Yeah, it really was. I was going to commit on the spot, but Coach Saban was like, you don't have to commit yet. It's so early. You could really think about it.
Back to Blake. How did he improve throughout the season from the beginning to the end?
He's improved every day. Confidence. His confidence has improved. He's throwing the ball. He's making decisions faster. He's able to read defenses better.
And he seems to be a little bit better in crunch time, like the end of the LSU game, the end of the Auburn game, even though he struggled early. How is he different in those pressure moments?
That's just who he is. He has some unique gifts and talents. He can run the ball when everything breaks down. And he throws with a lot of accuracy, so that's just who he is.
I'm not sure what your goals were at the start of the season, but did being a Heisman finalist enter into your thinking at all? Was that a significant thing to you?
Well, at the beginning of the season, I knew it would be a real slim chance since I'm a receiver. But as the season went on, I kept breaking a couple records. and I kept having some pretty good games, and then people started talking about it. So I guess you could say that's when it crossed my mind.
So I'm with NFL Japan. So what does this mean for you to become a finalist and possibly to win this award?
It means a lot. I'm really honored to be here. Where only a few are chosen out of the thousands who play college football.
And I know that a lot of people won this award and were not really successful in NFL. How confident are you if you went to NFL?
You know, I just have to keep working on my craft day in and day out, and never get complacent. And you know,
Pretty confident?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. The fact that I'll do good.